children, welcome back to the session of biology. I, Hetal Shah, is going to start with a new topic of biology, tissues. Children, you have already learned about your cells in your previous chapter, the fundamental unit of life. What are cells? Cells are the basic unit of life. They are the structural and functional unit of living organisms. Now, when we talk about organisms, we have learned in our previous chapter about unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. What are unicellular organisms? Unicellular organisms like amoeba are made up of single cell, and this single cell unicellular organisms are capable of performing the functions with a single cell. Whereas when we talk about multicellular organisms like plants, animals and other organisms, they are large in number and they have millions of cells. So due to the large number of cells, they form groups based on their specialized function. Now each cell is divided into the different body parts. So in every body part there is a specific function to perform. So what these cells do, they divide themselves, and when they divide themselves, that is called the division of labor. That means the different functions that are to be performed in the body, according to that the cells are divided in the body. Now these cells are large in number, so these cells form a group. Now what are tissues? Tissues are a group of cells performing similar function and are similar in structure. So cells, they group together. Which cells group together? Those cells which have the similar structure and they have the similar function to perform. So they together, they perform some specified function that is to be performed, and those are called the tissues. Now when we talk about the tissues, these tissues are of different types and they are found in all types of organisms, whether it be plants or animals. Now when we talk about the plant tissues and animal tissues, the structure and functions of the plant tissues and animal tissues, what do you think? Are their functions the same? No. Are their structures same? No. So on the basis of their structure and their function, the plant tissues and animal tissues, they are different. So let us see the basic difference between the functions that are performed by the plant tissues and by the animal tissues. Now when we talk about the plant tissues, we know that plants are stationary. Stationary means they are at one place. They don't move. They stay at one place because their growth is in the terms of the size. So they are supportive. Their tissues are supportive and their tissues give mechanical and structural strength to the plant. So for that the plants do not have to move from one place to another, and for that their tissues are the dead tissues. So when we were talking about the cells, we were talking about the structure of the cells, and in that we had learned about the formation of cells, that cells are formed from the pre-existing cells. So when we are talking here about the tissues that are related here to the plants are the dead ones. So they are not static, they just keep on they are static and they don't move from one place to another. They just exhibit growth with the help of the mechanical support that is provided by the plant. Okay, now when we talk about the animal tissues, basically they show movement. Why? Because animals have to move from one place to another. They are quite active because they have to move from one place to another in search of food, in search of shelter, and for many other purposes. Okay, so for that they need more energy. So for the requirement of more energy, those tissues should also be very live. They should be fresh and they should be living. So the tissues of animals are living. Now we will be talking about the other points of plant tissues and animal tissues in detail in the next session. Now in next session we will be talking about the different types of plant tissues, different types of animal tissues, but we'll go slowly. I don't want to be in a hurry and I want you to understand the topics well. So I would like you to go through the lesson first. Now I have given you a basic introduction about the tissues. Now as I said that plant tissues and animal tissues. These tissues are of two types, plant tissues and animal tissues. So in the next topic we will be discussing about the different types of plant tissues and different types of animal tissues. So please go through the lesson, read it once, and so that we can execute the lesson well. Hope you have understood the introductory part of tissues. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me. Thank you. Have a nice day.